welcome to this new video. And today, to some requests, I will show how to make a complete media player. So in the previous videos, I showed how to use Android background service and how to use ExoPlayer to play media files. But that was just for one single media file. But if you want to use ExoPlayer to play media files inside your storage in your phone and play all the media files, then this video is going to help. So let's start a new project. You have seen in the first video of ExoPlayer, like we need some libraries and dependencies. So we go to the Android Hello ExoPlayer in Android page and copy these dependencies. I'll add to this in the Gradle file. And this, I will just show the links for the dependencies extra. So you see there is a ExoPlayer dash and ExoPlayer Media UI, Media 3 UI. I will also add HLS because sometimes we might need HLS. So HLS is if you're using M2U files or streaming, and I will also use OKHTTP because in some cases I'm not sure if I'm going to use this in this project, but we might sometimes need OK. Okay, I'll edit later. And add ID. So I'll give it ID player view. ID player view. Player view. And I'll give a background color for the whole. I'll give it Android background, Android background, so this is going to be preview. So I'll also add a linear layout for the playlist container. So the playlist can be shown on the bottom. linear layout, match parent rep content, match parent and rep content, and I'll give it ID. The playlist container. And it should be below the player view. So below margin layout below here. So this is, and we'll give the orientation vertical, and I'll give heading top. Top 16. So I'll just complete it and go to the main activity. I don't want to waste time on the design. You can do on your own, but you see here is the player view, and on the bottom there will be the linear layout for the playlist container. So as you can see, in the XML, I have this relative layout, and the first is the player view, and then below the player view is the linear layout, and below the linear layout there is a text containing the playing text view. So this one will show which file is now played. Now let's go to the main activity, or before going to the main activity, I will add some kind of important user assignments, user permissions. So we have to read the external storage, so of course that's very important. And maybe in some cases if we want to modify this code to use internet files, so I will also use network state and wait lock and wait lock. So read external storage, wait lock. So these are defined in the manifest now. If there is permission for viewing the files, that's okay, but we'll actually use the manifest in Android to control the permissions, and when we start playing it will ask for permissions, and we have to allow the permissions for the storage. So first of all, before the onCreate method, we have to define the variables private, like we did in the first video. For player to play, we have to use the view and the ExoPlayer and so on. So player view, so player view private latency variable ExoPlayer, and private value read external storage. So I'll just import the manifest, very important part, because this is sometimes not automatically imported. So import Ant-droid dot manifest. So now you can use the permissions, read external storage. Read external storage permission request equals 1. So this will allow the permission to use the storage. Private value media files. So this will be using for selecting the media files. Media file media files equals mutable list of string. So we'll use mutable list of string because we'll take the name of the media files from the storage. So now we'll go to the onCreate method. We have already defined the variables. Now we'll start the player view. Player view equals find view by ID. Find view by ID r.id dot player view. This will generate the player view. Then we'll build the ExoPlayer. ExoPlayer equals ExoPlayer ExoPlayer dot builder. This is the context dot build. So now we have started or build the ExoPlayer. Now we'll combine the view in the ExoPlayer. Player equals ExoPlayer. Okay. Now when we are selecting those files, we have to give some conditions to read those files. If context compact check self permission this then manifest dot manifest dot permission read external storage. So with this permission, if there is no permission, it will ask for permission, and with if and condition will allow the permission. External storage and not equal to package manager package manager dot permission granted so this we use the permission inside the app. So that's the if condition. Now we have to write another. If not, then what we do? So we'll have to write another condition. Activity app activity compat dot request permissions read external story. Then this array of manifest dot permission dot read external storage. Permission request. So far this is the request we made, and if the permission is already granted, then we'll just play the files, just load and play the files. Else we'll load media files. So these are some classes we'll define later, but now we'll call the methods here. Load media files and play media files. So these are the two methods that will be called when there is already permission granted. So now you can just see if there is something red there, you can just create function. So now we'll create a function, and also this one here, play media files, create function. So what we'll do inside play media files is like define now if media files is empty. If media files is empty, then what we do? If media files is empty, then log.t, then we'll call the main activity. Main activity and we'll say no media files, no media files found. So this will be the command, the message if there is no media files found. So if media file is empty, right? So we can also import this log.t media tree. Remember, always use media tree when it's available. When you're importing, always use media tree imports. Okay, and then 10. So then we have made play media files, but it's not end. We have to create how to play. So we'll play a media source, like in ExoPlayer. We always have to make a media source. So media source factory, media source factory, media source factory equals default media source factory equal to default media source factory, and this context, and we use concatenating media source because we will have multiple, like in previous ExoPlayer example we just use one media, and now if we use more than one media files, we use concatenating media source. So the source will be combined equals concatenating media source. Okay. Then media files for each media file for each file path. Media file for each file path. So we'll create the media item equals media item. Sorry, so I missed something. Media item equals media item. So because we are using from the storage, you use the URI, from URI parse. We are parsing the URI the file path. This file path. So, and then we create the media source again. Value media source equals media source factory. This is how we use media source in media tree in new libraries. Create media source and media item. So each media item will be added to the media source, and then we use concatenating source, and each time we parse a new media, it will be added. Add media source to media source. So that's so far how we made the media source. Now, once the media source is made, we have to play the media. So first we use set media source, and we are using the concatenating media source here, ExoPlayer prepare, ExoPlayer.prepare, and then ExoPlayer play ExoPlayer.play. Okay. So now that's how we use MediaPlayer, ExoPlayer play media files. Now we go to the load media files function. So we have created the load media file function. Here, value URL equals, so we'll use the media store to load all the files. Media store files dot get content URI, and we'll use the external storage here. So this is how we are loading the media files from the storage. So we have to at first define the variables, projection equals array list of array of media store files, 5 columns. So this will file columns and data. So the data from all the files in the list will be grabbed here in the load media files. Value selection equals then $, media store files, media store dot files dot file columns dot. So this will also get information about the media type. Equals what means this will also grab the media information about the media files. So just to think, before and after the question mark, see at the start of the $, there will be also inverted comma. So just don't forget it. Okay. So now we are selecting. So now it will list in an array selections selection arguments, selection arguments equals array of media store files, media store dot files dot 5 columns dot media type underscore. Okay, so here you can use the audio, video, other options too, but for now this video I'm just using video option to just play video files to string. So this will grab all the media information. Value sort order, sort order equals inverted commas, then $sign, inverted commas, $sign, media store. Sort order will be also in media store. Media store dot files dot file columns dot files dot file columns dot date modified. So these are nothing much. We can also skip some of them. We're just grabbing all the information. Date modified from the disk. So now we'll use content resolver. Content resolver is used to control the mouse pointers or, like, cursor movements. So when you're going inside the file looking for the files, this is the library that we use. URI, projection, selection arguments. So these are the previous variables we have defined. We are also grabbing all this information here. .use, sorry, there is no hyphen, just .use, then cursor, sorry if you don't see it, cursor, here minus, and then arrow sign, value index, column index, equals cursor get column index, or throw media store dot files dot file columns dot data. While we use a while condition to control the cursor. While cursor move to next, cursor dot move to next, what will happen? If the cursor moves to next, the file path, then get the next file path. Very simple. File path equals cursor dot get string column index. and media files dot add, and then add this to the file path depending on the cursor. So we have completed load media file and play media file. Now we have some more important part to do, is on request permission result. So we are asking for this. We have to use the override function at the last override on request. On requests. So on request permission method. On request permission result, request code. So as request code we'll use integer, and permissions we'll use array out string. Array out string and grant results. Just to make it look nice, grant results. Yeah, we're using integer because we'll just count the number of lines here, nothing else. So super on request. So now we super on request permission result. Request code same again. Now the condition is if request code equals read. This is just to control the permission, nothing much. Then if grant results is not empty, current result is not empty, and these are the conditions to all the storage permissions. Current result and grant result. Like if already there is permission added, like grant result is 0 equals package manager dot. So if already there is permission granted, so what will happen? Load media and play media like before. So like load media and play media. Else same, we can go to this here, load media, play media. Let's see this one, else log blah blah blah, read permission found, permission denied. You can copy this line here, log d main activity no media found, else okay. Now on this from method, so override one on destroy method, you'll just release the player on destroy. So what is super on destroy, then ExoPlayer release, ExoPlayer dot release. So that means when there is, and just make sure you have the parentheses combined closed properly. So see, there are some errors like this URI. Actually mistaken, it's not URL. Variables defined should be URI. So now it will be clear. So this chunk of play media files, this will move after the load media files, because sequentially after the load media files it will be play media files, and then what happens is like the rest of the codes will follow consecutively. So I am checking again this, so I use this override on request permission result, then this will be created. So we have this integer array out of string and grant results array super on request method. If request code is equal to read external, so if external permission is already granted, no problem. If not empty, grant result is not grant result is 0 and not empty, then already permission granted. So if the permission is granted, load media files, play media files. That's what we're going to do. And else condition, we are going to use the same log t from the previous code, log t and the error message. So this is all for now. I wanted to say one more thing. There will be correction in the main activity here. In this here. So there will be question mark with dot in the content resolver. So I will post this on GitHub. You can also see the code, and if you have any questions, please write down in the comments. Thank you. So I don't want to make a longer video for a similar kind of topic, so I just modified this app to also show the playlist. In that case, you have to add, you see, load media files, play media files, and populate playlist. So we use another function called populate playlist to show the playlist on the bottom of the player view, and you can skip it or use it to highlight the current play I played. So that's the modification. The other things remain the same. So after this change, we can see this is the view. So you see, here is the current playlist. We can also directly click on this and change, or we can also click on, we also have controls here. You can also play next here, or we can just select from here. Yeah. Thank you for watching.